Joining me now is Chelsea Daniels from the Front Page podcast. Is democracy under assault? Not here, but in the US. That's the question this morning for the podcast. Chelsea, good morning.
Good morning.
Great to see you. Everybody's sort of jumping on this bandwagon. Is it a bit of a bandwagon that we're jumping on here, or is there a serious... I mean, people in California obviously think this, but in the States, do people seriously think democracy is under threat because Trump sent the National Guard into LA?
Well, I mean, I guess you have to look at how serious doing that is. You know, like I spoke to 9 News US correspondent Jonathan Kersley this morning, and we did a wrap about LA and what people are feeling on the ground. And you've got to remember the last time the National Guard was sent in to LA was the riots back in 1992, when 2 white police officers were acquitted despite being videotaped beating black motorist Rodney King.
Yeah.
Now, during that riot where the National Guard was brought in, there was rioting, people were stealing stuff from shops, breaking windows.
Noise.
It was crazy, but compare that to what's happened this week in LA. It's contained to about a 5-block radius in the middle of downtown LA. A couple of cars have been set on fire, but there are bad actors, you know, as we know. When in protests and stuff, the bad actors come up and they want to burn stuff and riot on buildings and stuff. But all in all, it's been a lot calmer and a lot more peaceful than, say, the Rodney King protests in the 90s. So the fact that the National Guard and the Marines have been brought in, and there's a threat of bringing the National Guard into other cities, because these protests are spreading around the country. I mean, you've got to see New York, Georgia, Texas, Colorado, Las Vegas. People are mobilizing.
Yeah.
And if that happens, then, I mean, what can you do?
Yeah. I suppose there is a bit of that. The protests, and there's a Netflix documentary about the protests in the 90s, the riots in the 90s. That was full noise in LA.
Full noise.
Yeah.
And you see some of those images and compare them to this week. I mean, it's chalk
night
and
and
cheese,
day.
isn't it?
But I guess the thing, and we've spoken about this before, but with social media, you're not really to know that, are you? I mean, it's almost like a trailer, like a highlights reel, social media.
Yeah.
Like a trailer of a movie. It's all the worst bits.
Well, LA Mayor Karen Bass actually had to come out and say, don't believe everything that you see. So there's some media channels over there showing images of people looting and things like that. And she's like, no, that's absolutely not happening here. And I mean, and Jonathan Kersley as well, he said, look, the introduction of the curfew brought in this week as well, a couple of days ago, that's made things quieten down a bit. What's happening there does spark a few questions, he said, though, like should the National Guard, of course, be called in, the Marines, and turned against Americans. But some harrowing scenes on the ground there, quite spectacular to see. He's spoken to one man, a protester who was out there because his father got deported. Another person he spoke to is worried about her neighbours. So there are people on the ground there for the right reasons, but whether that conversation can continue after all of this noise, I mean, hopefully.
It'll climb down, I'm sure it will.